In thinking about 365-day-a-year nutrition program for your white-tailed deer, a screening is a really important option to have, and this is the time of year that you want to plant it. The screening solution that I've used for the last several years is called Forages from Grandpa Ray Outdoors. It has Egyptian wheat, which gets to be 12 to 14 feet tall. It has pearl millet, which gets about half that height. And then it has two different kinds of sorghum, a screening sorghum and a grain sorghum. So two kinds of milo. That just gives it a little more standability. And the last few years, I've planted it along this strip next to my clover plot that you see behind me here. And what that does is on the south side of this that you can't see here, there's a hayfield. And it has a lot of clover in it as well. And deer make their way out there too. But what the screening does for me here is I've got a deer stand right over to my left here that's in the hedgerow. And the screening ends up being about 35 yards from that deer stand. So if I have deer in between the screening and me, then I know what distance they're at without really having to think too much about it or having to use a rangefinder for that situation. So that's one great benefit to it. Another benefit, I've had deer feed in it as well, and it just has a good way of funneling deer in the direction you want them to go and so on. I've done a video about screening in the past. So you guys may remember, if you followed along, several months ago, we spread gypsum over all of this. Gypsum is supposed to help loosen your soil, help oxygen get through your soil, help water filtrate through your soil. And so we've had some issues the last couple of years with soil compaction and things just not growing as well, things not being in that nice deep green color and healthy color you want them to be. They're have been like a yellow color the past few years for the screenings that we've put in. And so we've gone that route with the gypsum. And I can say that this year, so far, some of what we've already just tilled up, the clover started coming up in it that I hadn't even planted there. So I think that it last year, even just last year, the clover would only get a few inches tall, and I just didn't know what the deal was. I think that it was just really having trouble with roots being able to spread throughout and other plants be able to grow. So we've broke that up some, spread the gypsum on it. I think it's already making a difference. And gypsum can take a long time to really make amendments to your soil. So if that is an option for you, if you're facing some soil compaction issues, if you're just not seeing things have a deep green color and just not growing that well, you may look into researching gypsum a little bit. So what I'm going to do this evening, we've already, behind me, I've clipped this clover plot. It had grown up pretty tall, looked like a hayfield sort of, and I had some wheat and rye in there, and I had just some general orchard grass and just hayfield type. So there's some timothy in it as well. And gone through now and clipped all that off so we can stunt that back. And now some rain in the forecast in the next couple of days, and we've had a really wet spring so far. Hopefully that continues all the way into the summer. I'm literally looking forward to seeing this clover just blow up now in the very near future. We also spread some dry fertilizer on all of this, some 624-24. That's more for your clovers and plants that like that potassium. But that's what I had, and that's what I went ahead and used here. I've used liquid fertilizer that is a 4-12-12 in the past, so a low nitrogen but a high potassium and phosphorus, and that has done really well for the Forages screening as well. So we're going to see how that goes. And then I'm going to also spray some liquid fertilizer in a few weeks after this gets to germinating, about 3 weeks post-plant, and then also on the clover after it's had a chance to grow back with hopefully some rain. I'll spread some liquid fertilizer on that as well and keep feeding it and getting it to grow throughout the year. So that's what time of year it is, guys. If you are thinking about getting out there and doing some food plotting and you haven't ever done any before, I would just start small. Clover is a great option, a great base staple to have in your food plot program. So if you're not doing anything else this year, if you don't have time maybe to do that much, I would recommend that. It's getting a little late in the year now to do that because of the heat and everything. It can make it a little difficult for clover to thrive when really hot weather, but that's something you could try. But I would also encourage you guys, as you're game planning, as you're strategizing for the future, think about how you can be doing this year round. So what's something you can plant now that you can do some regenerative ag with, that you can come back the next season or the next year with something that's different, that you can plot rotate and just keep forages going, keep your deer on your property. Don't let them go over to the neighbors for 9 months out of the year and then hope you're going to bring them back for 3 months out of the year in the fall. So be thinking about what you guys can do for that. Feel free to drop any questions that you have in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer those. What does that bag of deer and birds say it has in it? It's in the back of the Ranger. It's soybeans, maybe or sunflowers. The other blend I'm going to be planting as well today, and I'm going to do that in this one little area right down here, and then also all through our walkway that goes down by a deer stand through the timber there is a blend called Deer and Bird from Grandpa Ray's. It has sunflowers, sun hemp, grain sorghum or milo, soybeans, and buckwheat. And my deer have loved buckwheat every time that I've planted it here. It doesn't provide a lot of nutrition. It provides a lot of attraction for my deer, but once they eat it off, it's gone. It's not going to grow back. It's an annual crop, if you will. What I'm going to try to do this year is have this patch here behind me in clover. Next patch over is going to be in that Deer and Bird mix, and my deer have also loved milo the last several years. And then going to spread that all the way down through our walkway. That's just going to, I think, give some more life and longevity to the milo that comes up. And I'm hoping to get a good stand of soybeans. And with it being that spread out, my hope is that the deer won't just hammer it all to the ground before deer season starts. A couple of years ago, I had a really good stand of milo down in the timber. It even got 5 feet tall probably, and it was looking great on August 5th, and by August 20th, the deer had eaten all the heads off of it. Yeah, they've really liked milo in the past, so we're gonna try that this year and hopefully have it more spread out and get a good stand of everything that hopefully it'll do well for us. Good luck in your food plotting. Thank you for watching Farming for Whitetails. We'll see you next time.